Welcome to the Catholic Table Talk podcast. This is where everything Catholic is on the table. New episodes Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on most podcast platforms. Here's your host, William Sauber.
Thank you again, Mr. Bill Snyder is the intro voice of the podcast. And so welcome back everyone to another episode here at Catholic Table Talk Podcast. 209 is today's show. And I think this is about it for kind of today's news for a little bit. This is going to be on the Vatican. It should be a very quick episode. And, I think Father Mike Schmitz is nothing against his homilies, but I think a few of his homilies going to be on in this episode. So, again, it is great homilies, but this one is going to be pretty short. Again, when this episode comes out, which is September 24th of 2025, of course, Pope Leo is the Pope, and lots of stuff happening at the Vatican. I want to plug a couple of things before we get rolling. I'm going to do there's a couple articles from the Vatican site. And maybe you follow on Facebook. Maybe you follow it on just going on the old interweb. Maybe you don't follow it. Like me, like everyone else, you just kind of go about your day-to-day life and you kind of catch the highlights of Pope Leo, right? Or what the Vatican sees doing, right? Yeah, you kind of see it on social media, which, again, what can you believe on social media? Probably 5%? Okay, so probably a little higher, but you know what I mean. Um, and plus, then people are attacking Pope Leo, you're attacking the Vatican, they're attacking this, all this praising it because, you know, it's again like what Pope Francis said, but he didn't really say, and it's how confusing it's about the blessings, misinterpreted the blessing of the same-sex couples, that whole thing, that is another show. But again, the point is, we're all busy. We don't really keep up with probably the Vatican as much as we ought, and we just catch the highlights, and then we go, no, and then by the time we start reading into it, something happens with the family, and we don't finish it. Much more convenient and easier to turn on the TV to listen to the news, national news, and hear all the troubles in the world than it is to turn on the Vatican and see what the church is up to. And maybe they're looking at the church in your own community. So that's today. The real quick website is CatholicTableTalk.com. Again, it's CatholicTableTalk.com. It's the official flagship source site of the podcast now, CatholicTableTalk.com. Episodes, host bits, other partners, testimonies, quick links for Carlo Cruz, and yes, the Vatican. That's why I'm plugging it in, folks. From our website, you can click on the Vatican tab on top on the menu bar, and it takes you right to the Vatican site. And you get all the latest news from the Vatican right there. It's so easy. You don't have to Google it. So just Google Catholic Table Talk for us. So again, this is, in the future, this is probably still helpful, still cool, still listenable, watchable. Um, but again, this is really for when the show comes out and a little bit after. But again, this is for anytime as well. So I'm gonna read a couple articles again, just basically trying to keep you up to date from the Vatican, what the Pope is doing, I should say. Across the Vatican News and go to the Vatican site. You can go to the church site on there, the world site, and the Pope. So I guess I'm kind of doing more on the Pope, but just for example, a couple things on the Vatican latest news: the Holy See reforms need to combat all forms of violence against women and girls. Young media professionals explore faith communication in Rome, which that was about a couple week or two ago. There were lots of young Catholic creator digital content creators, I guess you could say, uh, um, professionals were in Rome. Vatican Hill trial for London property case opens this past Monday. Weak sanctions that do not stop the massacre. Those are just a few. From the church side of things, Poland holds fifth East Homo Congress of Young Consecrated. War in Ukraine, Order of Matilda continues to ensure humanity support. Mission alive at 140 years old, they see the precious blood sisters, that sounds like them, and, uh, and others. From the worldwide news, UN warns of civil risk in Gaza. Women for Peace, Voices of Hope and Humanity, excuse me. And a cry from Eastern Congo, stop the massacres and bring peace. Of course, a lot of Catholics are being targeted in Congo, Africa by terrorist groups. I mean, it's not, you you can't even say publicly that you're Catholic and Christian because they execute you. So again, back to just, I guess, again, Pope Leo, because again, you see it in your feed, you see it, for example, I want to talk about, Pope Leo to exorcist, your ministry is necessary and delicate. So again, I mean, if someone posts something like that, um, you may not have the time to read it, you don't know what's happening. I mean, you might go through the comments and everyone's zipping them, and you feel kind of like, oh shoot, I should do something, but I don't know what to do. Also, locally, you can listen to the Vatican radio as well, live events. Again, this is out from the Vatican site, and you can find us at teletabletalk.com. And so let's go on to the Pope, latest from the Pope. Yeah, Pope Leo to exorcist. In a message to a meeting of the International Association of Exorcists, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, or if I sound like I'm mispronouncing it, held just outside of Rome, the Pope encouraged participants to accompany the faithful who suffer from evil through prayers of liberation and consolation. Which, I mean, let's be real, Exodus is probably more common than you think, right? And I mean, it's real. Pope Leo had a message of appreciation for Exodus priests gathered at the 15th National Association of Exodus, held from the 15th to the 20th of September of 2025 near Rome. The meeting brought together around 300 priests and Exodus assistants from all continents. Victory over evil. Continues. The Pope reminded them that the ministry of Exodus is delicate, yet most necessary, encouraging priests to live it both as a ministry of liberation and of consolation, accompanying the faithful truly possessed by the evil one with prayer and invocation of Christ's effective presence, so that the Lord may grant victory over Satan. The conference including moments of listening and reflection, where the importance of the exorcism mystery will reaffirmed as a concrete sign of the church's love for brothers and sisters who suffer. Explained by the association president, Father Coronel Ortega, canon law and exodus of the Diocese of Rome. In his homily during the celebration of the Holy Mass, Cardinal Arthur Roach, corporate of the Diocese for Divine Worship and Disciple Discipline of the Sacraments, focused on the significance of accompanying those who suffer because of the devil, noting that in their suffering, they participate in Christ's own suffering. And again, that's the end of the article. It's pretty short and sweet. Just kind of giving you the just kind of giving you the rundown of it. And like I said, Exodus are more common than you think. I mean, just I think mostly anyone who is a podcast host or anyone who's defending the faith is under attack by the evil one constantly. We all are. But I definitely feel it a lot. And I don't do well with it, to be honest. But others, you can't tell me that like Matt Fred and Jason Everett and Jeff Cavins. I'm not. Again, how we can do it is another story. Um, but just of the faithful who just kind of give up and really, again, maybe most of us do it. Um, but again, it's something that's still real, and it's probably some more common than you think. And if you really live out your faith, live out the teachings, live out the gospel, um, yeah, uh, it's how do I say it? Well, I guess I should say is like if it gets really bad, you might have to have one as well if you get attacked enough. That's for sure. So you could probably ask people, and if people were with you one on one, just between you two, I said, I'm sure a lot of people have had it. So especially if you're reading all the spiritual warfare stuff, you would definitely, definitely probably see it. So that's one article. I'm gonna try to stick with one more article in here just to keep you up to date with the Pope and the Vatican. Pope Leo recognition of Palestine helps, but dialogue is broken. Responding to journalists' questions as he prepared to leave the Castro role to the Vatican on last Tuesday evening, Pope Leo reflected, if Europe were truly united, I believe it could do a lot. Pope Leo has returned to the Vatican after spending the day in Castro Gangford. However, prior to departing, he responded briefly to journalists on this about the situation in the Middle East. Which, I mean, if you hear about the Middle East, as far back as I can remember, the Middle East is never ever in peace. It's like it's always in the middle of a conflict. It almost should be renamed Middle Conflict instead of Middle East because, again, like I said, I'm not growing up listening to the news. I'm like, Middle East? Always on, it's always war going on. The Holy See has supported the two-state solution for many years. He recalled he also mentioned that on the same day he had communicating with a Catholic parish in Gaza. Asked about the recognition of Palestine as a state, the Holy Father reformed the Holy See recognized the two-state solution some time ago. That is clear. We must seek a path that respects our peoples. Regarding the recreation, recognition, I should say, it could help. But right now, there is no real willingness to listen on the part of the other side. Dialogue is broken. Concerning the situation in Gaza, he explained, uh, thank you, Lord, the parish is fine. Although the inclusions are getting closer and closer. This afternoon, I got in touch with them. The journalist also asked them about the Russians. Someone is seeking an escalation it's getting more and more dangerous. I continue to insist on the need to lay down arms, help military advances, and return to a negotiating table. In that context, he emphasized that if Europe were truly united, I believe, quote, I believe it could do a lot. When asked whether the amendment is necessary, he replied, these are political matters, also influenced by external pressure on Europe. I prefer not to comment, said the Holy Father. Moreover, Pope Leo responded to a question about the diplomatic initiatives the Holy See could undertake in the coming months, stating, "We are in a constant dialogue with ambassadors. We also try to speak with heads of state when they come, always seeking a solution." After the exchange, the Pope returned to the Vatican. Pope Leo will preside over his weekly general audience the next morning and the Vatican. So again, just kind of keeping up to speed in the Vatican. I just thought, I would do that just so again, because again, if you're driving the car, if you're working at the desk, if you're whatever, you probably don't have as much time to look stuff up. If people are not reading the Bible, praying rosaries, doing that stuff, which I mean, I'm one of them, right? I'm not perfect at by any means. I just thought I would help you out, kind of stay up to date with what, like I said, the Pope is up to on the Vatican. So you can find, again, down the show notes, we'll have the articles, as well as, again, CatholicTableTalk.com. Go to the Vatican tab, it goes straight to the Vatican website, easy peasy. Today's sponsor also Dr. George Seguma. Of course, find more at drgeorge.com. Find an additional medical doctor today's episode. Sorry to not put them in at the start. And yeah, I should put his link on there as well. Sounds like he's going to continue to sponsor the show for another year or so. Thank you, Dr. George Seguma, for that. Anyhow, God bless you and God willing. We'll see you again next week, folks, for a guest. We have a guest coming on next week. I'll see who it is. Unless you're in the future, then you can just look in the next episode. Take care, everyone. God bless. Again, Lord Silent, stay grace. And we'll see you next time on Catholic Table Talk.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Catholic Table Talk podcast, where everything Catholic is on the table. Don't forget to subscribe to Catholic Table Talk on your favorite podcast platform to get new episodes delivered directly to you every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern.